the shores of Lake Michigan, somewhere in between Lambeau and Chicago, I-43 and 94 meet at Milwaukee, Wisconsin, one of the mightiest Midwestern metros you'll ever see. Come explore with us, make connections, and discover the city's well-known hotspots and its little-known gems. Delight in her charm, enjoy the waterfront, immerse in the culture, and set course for Destination 414. Today on Destination 414. Wake up with 88.9 Radio Milwaukee, because you've got to get up to get down. Stroll through the galleries of the MSOE Grohmann Museum, a treasure trove of industrial art open to both the public and engineering students alike. Down a complimentary pint on the Lakefront Brewery Tour, one of Brew City's most popular. Grab a bite at Bayview's Cafe Central. And finish your day with live music and friends at Live on North Avenue in the heart of Milwaukee's East Side. This is the 411 on the 414, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Mornings on 88.9 Radio Milwaukee. You got to get up. You want to get down.
The famous drive time exclamation of AM host Jordan Lee.
My name is Jordan Lee. I am the AM Drive host here at 88.9 Radio Milwaukee. Radio Milwaukee is kind of a new concept for a radio station, not only here in Milwaukee, but pretty much around the globe. We take a unique approach to radio programming and how we engage the community. As a community radio station, we're supported by our listeners. So we engage in having a two-way conversation with the listeners and trying to get a feel for what they want out of the station so we can be reflective of what's happening here in the Milwaukee community. We do this in a number of ways. When we introduce new music, we try and get the listeners involved. We keep our ears tapped into what's going on in the music scene nationally, but we're also very, very tapped into what's happening in the music scene locally. That gives us a unique approach to helping to give the Milwaukee music scene a voice and also giving them an opportunity to try to get some regular rotation out of radio. There's a different approach to, just having a show play a song once and keeping a song in heavy rotation. We try to create, Milwaukee hit singles, if you will, in our approach to Milwaukee music. We're also extremely integrated into what's happening in the community through our community outreach and voices that we bring to the air. Every season we do a different community initiative, and that's an opportunity for us to get out there on the street, get the microphones live, and talk to folks who are doing things from, right now we're focusing on Milwaukee arts and music. Next we'll be focusing on some of the neighborhoods that make Milwaukee a great city. We do things with youth in our community, as well as basic needs and how folks can get out there and lend a hand to help make Milwaukee a better city. So all of that added up together is pretty much what creates what we are as Radio Milwaukee. Once again, we're one of many radio stations in this area that is funded by the community, and it's a wonderful thing because people come and they rally around us and they support what we're doing because we support what they're doing. As a community radio station, we look to try and focus on voices of the community, what's happening from the music scene to folks out there rolling up their sleeves and making this city vibrant and alive. It's pretty common in public radio to focus on stories that are impacting the community or communities that you are focused on. Now, here we have a unique opportunity being Radio Milwaukee. We want the voices of Milwaukee to be brought to the air. So once again, in trying to do something different, trying to be unique, Radio Milwaukee, we kind of sprinkle these pieces into our daily programming. So unlike many traditional approaches to this kind of storytelling, it's not a half an hour long show. Our producer Adam, out on the road all the time. He's on his bike, he's on the bus, he's taking his microphone out and getting into the faces of the folks that are doing these things. then producing it in a very palatable way. We're talking about a short little piece, 2-3 minutes, the length of an average song. But the reason we take that approach is in the overall programming. You know, we are a new music radio station, and we're a diverse music radio station. So in any given hour, once again, you might hear, you know, a classic hit from, you know, 70s funk with a brand new rock song following that. And then right after that, a great piece on voices in our community. And once again, the variety and topic ranges from season to season, but the idea is that we have an opportunity to present the voices of Milwaukee and the people who are making Milwaukee what it is. And these pieces are just a part of the musical programming, and it makes for a very unique approach to this kind of mix of new music, diverse music, and community voices all coming together every single hour. So one of our taglines is diverse music for a diverse city. And we try not to be cliche with that in the sense that Milwaukee is an extremely diverse city. We have, you know, dozens of different cultures living in different parts of the city, and we want to see as much crossover between those cultures as possible. We know that you can't drag people through the mud to force them to kind of have this crossover, so we try to find a more organic and natural way to make that happen, and we feel like music is a unifying factor that all people can relate to. So regardless of what walk of life you come from or what your particular tastes are, there's something musical that you're incorporating in your life every day. So we try to find a way to take these different chunks of music from, you know, everything from alternative and contemporary rock to world sounds to hip hop and R&B, and try to find artists that seem to shine within each of those categories.
The Milwaukee School of Engineering's Groman Museum features industrial art, quite fitting for an engineering campus. But MSOE isn't all fun and calculations. Groman's motto, science without art is nothing.
The Groman Museum was built in October, completed actually in October of 2007. Prior to that, we'd had the collection from 2000 when Eckhart Groman donated it to MSOE at various locations on campus, but we realized we really needed to have a museum to showcase the collection, one single place for people to go, a place where we could hold events and showcase. We don't really have any modern art in this museum, although there are a few pieces that trend towards that. People can generally get an idea of what's in the picture without any interpretation, because it is representational, and so they can see how things were done and what was done. And Eckhart liked to collect pictures that showed the tools and methods, if at all possible, in a craft. So if you look at, for instance, the violin maker's workshop up on the 3rd floor, you'll see all the tools, all of the jigs and fixtures that he's using to make those violins, violas, and cellos. Probably the earliest industrial art is from the 1600s. We do know of one piece of industrial art from the 1500s. It's not part of our collection, but prior to that, really, our art was not depicted, industry was not depicted in art. The first floor is the red floor, and that stands for iron and steel. Red is the color of fire, and that's mostly what you see in the pictures on this floor. They show the pre-industrial period, as I mentioned, from 1600, where people were using water wheels and windmills for industrial processes such as steel making. And then it progresses into the Industrial Revolution, which was 1750 in England and around 100 years later elsewhere, where miners were bringing up coal to be used to fuel steam engines, and those steam engines were being used to drive entire factories full of equipment. The second floor, or the green floor, is our agriculture and construction floor. So we have construction, and believe it or not, people actually painted construction projects, and governments commissioned artists to paint these projects, the hydroelectric power dams, for instance, under construction. And then we have a number of bridges as well. There's also shipbuilding depicted on that floor. And then the whole eastern part of the floor is the agriculture wing, which depicts some fishing, but mostly agriculture, and of course the harvest is the most popular theme of artists because it's a very romantic thing. It's the result of all the hard work that went into the growing season. Now you're able to go out and gather the crops and bring them in. So we have a lot of pictures and sculptures dealing with cutting hay, putting it on wagons to bring in. The third floor is our crafts floor, and although the paintings don't go back to the era of the crafts during the medieval period, because as I said, they didn't paint those things then, it deals with the crafts, and those crafts include everything from barrel making and wheel making to shoe making, carpentry and wood crafts, musical instruments, jewelry, the whole wide view. And there's a little subset in this floor called the medical collection, which is a very unique little piece of our collection. It has about 16 or 18 paintings, mostly from the 1600s, of medicine being practiced. And medicine in the 1600s was very crude, and that collection really shows it quite well. People get a big thrill out of not having to have lived during that time and being treated by those doctors shown in the pictures, the barber surgeons. And there's also quite a large blacksmith collection, because that's really where Eckhart started. His very first painting was a painting of a blacksmith, and he continued to collect those both in sculpture and in oils. Well, I work with beautiful art every day, and that's a great thrill. That was one of the things that I noticed when I first saw this collection in 2003, was what great art it was, the quality of it, the beauty of it, and of course I like the topics, and my expertise is more along the line of industrial processes, so I was hired basically because I could determine what's going on in the pictures, and I write research and write interpretations of new art that comes in, both sculpture and paintings. And I enjoy doing that.
Lakefront Brewery, Brew City's most infamous tour, is a great way to relax and learn while enjoying a day in the city with friends.
Lakefront Brewery has been around since 1987. December 2nd, we sold our first half barrel. And it is a presence in the fabric of the Milwaukee beer drinking community. Well, my brother and I started out as home brewers. We lived in the same residence, and as a birthday present, he gave me a book on home brewing. I actually read the thing, understood the process as was described, and went out and bought some of the equipment, and probably sometime during the winter months, brewed my first batch of beer, and as I like to say, it wasn't that bad. So he got the bug and he started brewing, so we became immersed in the brewing subculture, home brewing subculture at that time. Brother, being a chemical engineer, understood systems. He could look at their system and realize it could be duplicated with equipment that were here from the old dairy industry or the breweries that were closing down. So we were immersed in this brewing phenomenon that was developing at that time, and trying to reestablish the heritage and the culture of Milwaukee and its brewing industry. Well, we always did what I call slow, constant growth. And our first year we sold 56 barrels of beer, and the first full year. And then it moved up to maybe about 130 and maybe 300. So is that type of increase that you're seeing?
Well, in my 4 years, I've seen us go from the old style kegs to the new kegs, which opened more accounts because a lot of the bars were switching over to the newer style kegs. We still kept the traditional bunghole tour is what they call it. It's part of the tour where they talk about the bungs. We still kept the traditional Laverne and Shirley part of the aspect of the tour at the end. We also added a new labeler and a new six-pack machine that drops the actual bottles in the six-pack, so we don't have to do it manually anymore, which allows us to do a little bit more and go a little bit more faster.
Our flagship is the River West Stein beer, and that's an amber lager. and that's one of the first beers we came out with, and it's held its own and became very popular, and it's remained popular throughout the history of the brewery. We have, like I said, the New Grist, a beer that sells well on a national and in some instances international market because of its uniqueness and how it reaches out to people that can't normally, because of their affliction, enjoy a regular beer. And then we've done stuff like our flavored beers where we add cherry to them, and we have the Wheat Monkey. Wheat ales are also very popular. So it's a matter of having innovative beers, traditional beers that the population recognizes, and then also beers that fill a niche. I think some of our innovations have really separated us. For example, being the first brewery to do a organic beer under its own label in-house made us different. Reaching out and being part of the local community, both with our operation and what we support, and also private labels for restaurants. And in addition, I think things like our tours, our community involvement, our identity in the neighborhood, those people know us, they can latch on to us, not necessarily me, but every employee that we have here comes from the area and is active in the area. And I think it's that personal connection, at least in our in this local market, that will separate us from other competition.
I think what makes us different is because we're not all out there in your face. We're more word of mouth, which seems to get passed around a lot. We're considered the #1 tour in Milwaukee, even though Miller's based here, and there's a lot of breweries here also, the Milwaukee Ale House, Stonefly, but still people still come to us. We've had people come straight from the airport with their luggage, and I think just with that aspect of keeping it local and not expanding too large, we're still available in a lot of states outside of Wisconsin, but as far as the word of mouth within the state, I think is what's good.
Featuring Bayview's largest dining room and a wide selection of Brew City's favorite beverages, Cafe Central on Kinnickinnick Avenue is one of Milwaukee's hippest eating establishments.
Well, we are about a year and a half old now. We opened in September 2 years ago, so that would be 2008. And we've been really excited to come into the Bayview area. We were part of a small Milwaukee restaurant group, Diablos Rojos. I'm not sure if you're familiar. We own, at this point, a couple other restaurants. This was our 4th restaurant, and we really were interested in coming into Bayview. One of our owners does live here, and we're really invested in community. We always go into buildings that have some historical importance. So we were really interested in the Bayview area, and when this space became available, we really jumped on it. We're really interested in kind of retaining the intrinsic structure of the buildings. A lot of Cream City brick you'll see in our structures, and a lot of history in the structures, Wisconsin history, Milwaukee history. We took actually like ballroom floors from places in northern Wisconsin, hotels, and put them into the floor and used them to build the bar top. You'll notice a lot when you look around the restaurant that a lot of different kind of funky old things, old doors in the bar, that kind of thing. Those are things we found as we renovated the building in the basement. And when we came into the Bayview area, we were really looking to kind of bring a space for the community to come together and really be able to use it for a lot of different reasons. And I think we really tried to do that through creating a space where you could use it, day or night. You can come here with your family and really use the space for whatever you see fit, as like, someplace you're bringing your significant other on a date, or someplace that you're going to bring your family. We've got everybody from, a good demographic of older people, couples in the community, young people who drink coffee and do their homework, families, students who bring their parents here, pretty much everybody. And it's a space that we kind of try to make work for everyone, so that you can come and you can have a beer you know, in the evening with your friends, but it's the same space that you could do your homework at and hang out in the afternoon, or come by yourself and, you know, have a nice little dinner on your way home. So pretty much everyone is really eclectic, and we really embrace that, and we try to kind of reflect that in our staff. We've been fortunate here at Central to be able to do a lot of things locally, and we really, if you've been here, we really do kind of try to do sort of rustic European style comfort food with an emphasis on local ingredients. And we've really, over the last year or so, been able to do more and more and more of that. For example, our sausages for several of our dishes are made by Rupina's Deli, which is a local Milwaukee deli. We do a lot of Wisconsin cheeses. We work with Englehart Dairy. We work sometimes with some of the really local places like Growing Power or Sweetwater Organics. The executive chef, his name is Ross Bachhuber, and he actually started and opened this restaurant here with us, and he has since moved on to be the executive chef, and he just did an excellent job with our menu and really starting to get the ball rolling, getting people in here who are really excited about what they do culinarily, and it's, you know, it's been something that we consistently strive to make better, strive to make it more interesting. We really try to create trust with our customers so that when we change menu items, they know that even if their favorite's going away, there's something new and exciting that they're going to love just as much. I'd say as a whole, we don't want to feel just like a restaurant. We want to be a part of people's lives and part of the community. And I think that's what makes working in a restaurant for me really rewarding, and working at Central really rewarding, is that, you know, we feel that we're a part of the community in so many ways. You know, you have an opportunity when you're, you know, in the restaurant business to be a part of so many people's lives and being part of their really memorable experiences. And I think fostering that culture, as opposed to saying like, we're going to give you food and you're going to give us money, really makes a difference in, you know, how you're accepted and how you feel about what you do, how your staff feels about what you do, how your community feels about what you do, and the investment you get in return from your customers. So I mean, for us, you know, we really enjoy what we do, and it's more about being a part of the community and being a part of people's lives and being a part of our customers' lives, and, you know, creating these experiences for them that they're going to remember for the rest of their lives. Like when you're able to be part of somebody's birthday party or anniversary or, you know, engagement party or their, you know, 65th wedding anniversary or something like that. Those are experiences you don't get to have in any other industry. And so we really strive to make this a place that people want to come and celebrate with us and, you know, feel good about, you know, bringing all their friends and family for all those special occasions to help make it special.
After you've grabbed a bite, finish your day off right with live music and friends in the heart of Milwaukee's East Side. Known for their dancing, drinks, food, and fun, Live on North Avenue is one hot spot you don't want to miss.
Hello, my name is Brian Perret. I'm a manager here at Live on North. We're a bar located on Milwaukee's East Side. We've been here for about 5 years, and we focus on bringing live entertainment to our customers and making sure everybody has a good time. You know, on Mondays we have hip hop night. Wednesdays we bring in karaoke so everybody can get involved. You know, Thursdays is our ladies' night. And then Fridays we usually bring in a band of some sort that comes in and plays. And then Saturdays we bring in the DJs so everybody can come in and dance and have a good time. Now on most nights our crowd is normally, you know, from college to about 30-year-old professional business students. We are the closest bar to UWM, and so we get a lot of patrons that come in from there and give us business. We like to have a good time. Everything here is a big family. We like to think of this as a family and not a business. You know, everybody moves around, takes different roles, helps each other out. We have quite a few regulars that come in, and they're also like family to us as well. And so if you get a chance and you're down by Milwaukee's East Side, come down to Live on North. We'll be happy to see you. We've had a few renovations here throughout the years. Each time we evolve to go with the times. And now we're an establishment where we can provide to people who want to come in, have food, have a good time, listen to some live music, and enjoy Milwaukee's East Side. Milwaukee has a long history of nightlife. You know, we come from a long line of brewers, and that tradition stays true today. People go out and they like to have a good time. You know, we dance, we cajole, we meet people we haven't met before. Milwaukee's a very open and welcoming city. It's very easy to make friends here, and part of the way we do that is we go out to establishments like Live on North here in the East Side, and you have a good time. You know, you let loose, you dance a little bit, you meet some people you haven't met before, You know, this is a place where you can come and have a good time. You can also get your belly filled. You know, we have full menu, pretty much whatever you want, sandwiches, chicken and burgers. We have specials every day. We make a thin and crispy pizza that's actually on a tortilla shell, which people absolutely love. You know, barbecue chicken pizza, chili cheese pizza. In addition, we have brunch every Sunday. We pretty much have something for anybody who wants to come, whether you like a burger or whether you're a vegetarian, whether you want low fat, or whether you want some good greasy bar food. We got what you want. Well, we're called Live on North, and as such, we like to bring in live acts multiple times a week. Every Friday, we're gonna have a band for you, and that band could be anything from country to rock and roll, to hip hop, to bluegrass. And that's always gonna be something new for you. You know, these days and times, the economy is tough. And every establishment out here on the east side has to figure out their own niche, their own strong points to make sure that they can get through these rough times. You know, we at Live feel that we've done that by bringing the people what they want, live entertainment that'll make them have a good time. Live on North is important because we are a family and we like to have a good time. This is a place where you can go, you can take all your reservations and leave them at the door, and when you come in, just feel free to be you. We accept you for you, and while you're here, I guarantee you're gonna have a good time. We have great bartenders, we have a great kitchen staff, and we always bring in the best, freshest, newest acts. You're gonna love it here.
Well, it's been a long day, but we haven't even cracked the surface of Milwaukee's rich culture and offerings. Get some rest. You'll need it next time, when once again, we set course for Destination 414.